Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Are we live? I think so. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me for today's unplanned Q&A. So before we get started, I'm going to make sure that I am live. So I'll check on my computer here. Let's see what's going on the internet, on my channel. Just want to make sure. And hopefully I can see the chat in here too. Yes, I can. Great. Awesome. See some people talking. Hi, everyone. Thank you for clicking on this live video. It was not planned. But basically, I'm going through a little bit of, how could I say that? Of awakening, basically. And basically, I've realized that I need to work more on my music. I need to spend more time on the things that really give me joy, and that's creating music. And that's kind of what I'm at. And in the process, it's been really fun. I've been working on my instrument and composing and guitar. But in the process, I kind of realized that making the YouTube videos have taken a lot of time. They take a lot of time to do. And so I might do a little more live things like this for fun, because I don't need to edit. I don't need to plan too much, and I can stay in touch, and it's so much easier. But thank you for all the comments. Thank you so much for, I see some coming in. I really appreciate your support. So the reason of this video is that today's Thursday, and you noticed that the schedule's a little messed up. I'm taking a break from the regular uploads, but I still want to be in touch. And so yesterday you did not have the Ask Wallimann episode, so I'm going to do it live, where every Wednesday I have been for the last 3 months or so taking some questions and answering them in a video. I'm going to do yesterday's episode live. And I've got 3 questions that were picked, but in the meantime, if you have new questions, since I'm here live, you're welcome to ask them. So let's get started. So these questions have been asked in the last few weeks, and I had planned to actually film a video with it, but that's why I'm doing it live. First question is from George Merink. And George is asking, have you already started working on your next album? I don't mean necessarily recording, but maybe musical ideas, the concept, some composition drafts. Yes, and because we're live, I can do whatever I want. That means I can let you hear it. I can let you hear what I have. If I actually filmed the video and edited it, it would be a little bit harder, because I've got to take a screen capture, and there's just a lot of editing stuff. But let me show you. There's one big project really going on, and then there's another one for down the road. The first one is Deep Inside the Mind, which was my first album that I released a long time ago. I am retracking it completely, and I thought I would use the original drum sessions, but after trying to mix them, realized that even though the performance was good, the sound was not that on par with what I wanted. And so I'm gonna get Nick DiVigilio to track the drums again, and on bass it's a guy called Dave is his name. And anyways, it's being retracked. I think it's scheduled for April 7th. I have the artwork. I thought to myself, I'm not going to show it to anyone, but because you're live and because you're watching me, I'll show you the artwork that I have. And the way I'm doing this is I'm doing Deep Inside the Mind as a prequel. So that came before Evolving Seeds of Glory, which is right over there. Let me show you. So that's the latest one, right? And I'm taking, so it's all instrumental, but it's kind of story driven. There's some text in there for those who don't have it, and so you can read this at the same time. But Deep Inside the Mind is going to be the prequel, so there's going to be some recurring characters. This girl is going to appear, and she's coming back in Deep Inside the Mind. Well, not coming back, it's really before. And where can I find, where is the artwork? Maybe here. Where is it? Where is it? I want to show you. I will show you before the end of this, I promise. It's got to be somewhere around. Mikhail Katz did this. Awesome artist, incredible artist. And I really want to show you. Okay, I think it's in an email somewhere. Come on, where is it? Okay, I don't know if you can see this. Probably not, it's in an email and all that, but that's it. You see that? So I'm really excited about it. And there's a lot more that I want to share with you. But anyways, yes, so I'm working on this, and I'm also working on I have some ideas for a future thing. Let me see if I can let you hear some. These are just rough ideas, really. Okay, I don't know what this is, but we'll hear it together. Something that was recorded, I think, before my daughter's birth. So that's about 3 years ago. Just an idea. I need to revisit it. And I know. Let's see. Can I see the chat here somewhere? Yeah. Yes. Great. Awesome. Okay. I'll come back to the questions and everything. So I have this. I don't know how this. I'm using my iPad to stream. Just an idea. And I don't have a theme or anything. It needs to be developed, but there's a bunch of ideas like that. I think I have about 15, and so that'll be part of the next one too. So thank you for asking this question. The second one is in relation. It was posted to the 7 Licks That Teach You Modes video that I uploaded a while back. Could you tell me about your picking style? Noticed you changed your angle many times during the lick. Okay, this. I don't really have. I'm not very confident in my picking technique, and that's partly why also I'm taking a break from the produced video, maybe more live things like that, because I really want to work on my instrument and my music. But if you watch my earlier videos, my picking technique, I'm trying to angle this correctly so that people could see. My setup is, this is my setup. Got my music stand right there. And the iPad is on the music stand. Seems to work okay. But if you watch the earlier videos, can I make this a little higher, maybe? Yeah, my hand was like this, like closed fist. It's really strange, because when I started playing, I took a couple lessons at the time back in France, and if there's some French people watching, his name is Cyril Achard. You probably know him. Now he's a nylon string player, jazz, but at the time he was an electric rock player, great player, still is. But I thought that he told me to hold the pick like this and to hold a small object. He actually told me to do that, to hold it like this, and so I would pick like this. But after a while, I would have problems. After a few years, a lot of tension, and I just couldn't do it. Now when I watch the earlier videos, I'm wondering, how could I do this? And so I forced myself to kind of loosen up and open, especially these 3 fingers. Not necessarily straight, because that too is tensed, right? There's a lot of tension, but more loose. And the way that I worked on this is using a pencil. I've recorded a video on this too, and that really, really, really helped me. Basically, you take a pencil. So, yes, it's a marker, I know. I don't have a pencil around. Pencils are better. They're thinner. You hold it right here. And when you're closing, so you hold your pick between the thumb and the index, and the pencil kind of forces me to be a little bit looser. So I'm not holding it like this, a little looser, but not completely open. And I mean, this feels like the perfect way to build your picking speed, at least for me. At least position-wise. And then after doing that for a while, it naturally kind of falls like that, the picking hand. It's not completely closed, it's not completely open, but it feels very natural, and that's because of the pencil that I was holding. And then also the pick is a little bit angled, like this. Not completely 90 degrees, not completely flat, but kind of angled like that, less resistance. Like that, and that seems to really help. But I'm definitely working on this. I'm not a very good technician, I think. Okay, let's continue. How's the quality? So I see that I'll come back to all the questions here in a second. Nigel, thank you for joining. And Nigel says that the video is a little jerky. Is it jerky for people? Or is it just Nigel? Maybe it's the connection. I'll come to your questions in a second. I have one more to cover. So again, for those who just joined, this is the Ask Wallimann live version that I missed yesterday. So we're going to do this today. Question number 3 is from Jacobiart. Oh, and this one, sorry, about the picking technique. This was asked by Hne Zaki. So thank you for asking this. And then the third one is a question about practice. Do you practice certain modes on different days? Often get stuck with the lead-in mode. Feels much better to my ear. Not anymore, because I know the modes. But at the time when I was learning them, yes, I would focus heavily on one mode for a few days. And the biggest thing really for me was to get outside of thinking of modes in terms of positions, associated positions with modes. That was, I didn't know it, but that was a big stumbling block. Because I would associate, okay, Lydian is this shape. Ionian is this one. And associated in those shapes, although it had the benefit of allowing me to play modal faster, because I always tied it to a shape, all my leads and my lines were very shape-orientated, very guitaristic-orientated. And anything that I could play or compose modally was only going to be as good as my knowledge of the instrument. And so how do you fix that? I fixed that by not thinking too much in terms of guitar modes or shapes, but rather really associate sounds and emotions with colors and modes, and by listening and composing in your head modally is going to really help you strengthen that, I think, knowledge. But if you're starting out, I would say yes, it's a great idea to maybe spend 1 or 2 days on one mode and then move to the other. But one tip I would say is, if you're working on your church modes, start them from this, work in them in the same key. So if you're working Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, and all that, so Monday you've got your Ionian mode and you work in C Ionian to get the color, and the next day you do D Dorian, I wouldn't do that. That's not really going to help you strengthen the oral perception of the mode, but rather start working in the same key. So A Ionian, for example, that's, you work on that a couple days, and then the next day A Dorian. So you start them in the same notes, because your ear is going to now be able to really differentiate those modes, because they're starting from the same root. So you can really hear A Ionian versus this one, because they start from the same note, and you can measure them according to the same root. So that's really important. So that's what I had as far as questions. Thank you to the 3 people who have asked these questions. I'm going to go back. I'm going to try to open YouTube on my phone this time. It'll be easier to see the different comments that we have. Because I'm on my iPad right now, and what I see is I just see one, I see one thing pop up, and I don't see the others. So let's go. Okay, there you go. I could pull it up on my phone. I'm going to try to go back. Hopefully I won't miss anything. And again, thank you for joining me. This is completely unplanned, and I'm kind of frustrated a little bit with the YouTube work that I do. Not with you guys at all, but just frustrated with the amount of time and energy that it takes to make the videos. And so I got really burned out making them, and I thought, I'm going to quit. I need a break. But yet I still want to interact with people, and it's very enjoyable to talk to you. So doing this live thing is easier for me. Okay. So let's see if I missed anything. Christophe, tu demandes si je posais une question de Montpellier? Non. Mais ça fait bizarre de parler français en fait. Ça fait longtemps. Je parle sûrement comme Van Damme maintenant. Mais je viens d'Aix-en-Provence, mais j'habite au Colorado, dans le Colorado. Okay, let's see. Well, Christophe asked me if it was possible to see a video in French. He just got a piece. Joaquin, the legend, is asking me, at what point in your musical journey did you really start to get serious about getting better? Right from the start, but I don't mean it in the way that I am good. That's not what I mean. But right from the start, I really loved music more than guitar. Still do. But then I discovered guitar, and I really got serious about it right away. I wasn't good. I'm still not very good. And it's about the journey, but right away, I really loved practicing, and I love the pain that you can get in your fingers. I really like it a lot. James is asking me how I balance work, life, guitar, music, family, and gaming, because I recently got the new Zelda, Breath of the Wild. At first it was very, very difficult to do because I was very driven by the money aspect of things. And then I got very burned out. That was, probably 5-6 years ago. Very burned out, and I decided this needs to change because I quit my job making sandwiches and at a calling center to pursue this music thing. And then I discovered that, doing music for a living means also dealing with things that I did not like about the everyday job. It's a job, you got to work at it. But then I also wanted a family. I wanted to have a healthy balance, and it was not healthy. And so what I decided to do is really limit my time. It was a big bet, but I read about it, and people said that it really works. And so here's what I mean. Especially you can do this when you are self-employed and independent. I limit my working hours, and I did something drastic because I used to work 12 hours a day, 14 hours, like crazy as a musician, trying to pursue this thing. And then I set myself very restrictive times, and I started maybe with 4 hours, and I said, today I have 4 hours, that's it. And I realized that, within 4 hours, I have to eliminate all the extra stuff. And there was a lot of extra stuff that did not pay the bills. And that forced me to really start my day and really focus on things that would bring the most amount of money, because I've got to pay the bills. And that made me realize that I could cut my hours even more if I really focus on what's really, really important. So what does that mean? That means that when I started out, it was difficult because I was very tied to the hourly thing. Like 1 hour equals X amount of dollars. 2 hours equals double that. And that's when I was teaching individually. And then I had to think about it and take the plunge of stopping. I stopped taking one-on-one students because I realized that I would always teach the same thing. And I filmed a lesson, one lesson. And I sold that. And I sold it to multiple people. And now, instead of working 1 hour for X amount of money, I worked 5 hours, maybe. We'll call it 1 hour. 1 hour to make that lesson. And then when someone asked me for lessons, I would tell them, well, I don't do that, but you can get a recorded lesson. And that's what I did. And that eventually got to guitarplayback.com. But how do I balance that? By setting myself really restrictive hours, and when I'm done, I'm done. And also there's an app, I talk about it all the time. It's free. I love it so much. This has really saved my burnouts. I don't know what I would do without it. There's multiple apps like this, but this is called Wunderlist. It's on phone, or it's a web app. It's on Android. And basically it's a calendar, but with tasks. And so today, for example, if you look at this, you probably can't see. Can you? You probably can't see what's going on. Maybe. Yeah, it's not focusing. Today there are 3 tasks today. One is the John Holt course. What does that mean? John is a friend of mine, and he produced a lesson for guitarplayback.com. I had to edit that and I'll tell you more about it. But that is today, and I'm actually done with that task. So I'm going to click it off. The second task is edit the backing track video. So I've got a video here. I've got to edit a little bit. I don't have to finish it. As long as I work a little bit on it, I'll click that off. So that'll be next. And then the third one actually is something that I used to do for YouTube. But now I've got they call it a virtual assistant. And he's a great guy. He actually did some work he actually produced some backing tracks. His name is Javier. And he helps me with some of the tasks, and that's his. So I have one more thing to do today, and it's 10:16. And I'm doing that because also I really want to get better musically, and so I'm limiting my time. And I have things set up in a way that I can really focus on basically I'm focusing on the maximum amount of financial return for the minimum amount of work. Not that I did a lot of work before, and I still need to maintain things, but I just set yourself really constrictive hours, I think, is the key. Let's go back to these questions. This is fun. I really like this, because I was getting a little not worried, but I really wanted to do some videos, but the live thing is so much easier. Really appreciate you guys sticking with me. Okay. Joaquin is asking also something about a song called I Can See You Through the Clouds. Was there an inspiration for the piece? Yes. The piece started as a piece that I recorded for a guitar contest, an online guitar contest. I can't remember which one. That was older, and I revisited that with my previous band, Public Alchemy, which is a different story. Why did it end? Nothing bad, and we recorded that on the EP that came out a few years back. The inspiration was really a guitar contest. I wanted to make a challenge myself with a piece that was guitar driven, and the title is from my faith. I can see you through the clouds. I can see God through the clouds. That kind of thing. Let's see what else. Vita, what's my approach to writing a song? It's very much like, it depends, but lately it's been very much listening with no instrument in my hand and listening to what's going on inside. And then when I hear it, try to reproduce it with whatever I have, usually a guitar or a keyboard, but that's usually what I do. Let's see what else we have. Going through your questions. Zach is asking about my finger radius. I don't know. I suck at this kind of thing. Like, what kind of wood is my guitar? I don't know. I know that I use 942 as far as strings gauge. That's it. That's all I know. Confessions today. Okay. So as far as Alec is asking for modes, what I think in terms of shapes or intervals, and definitely intervals. I think the danger with shapes is that you bring modes all back to the major scale, like C Ionian, D Dorian, E Phrygian, and then you wonder, well, why would I learn modes if they're all from the same scale? Well, you got to go a step further and start playing these modes and hearing these modes from the same root. That'll give you a very good idea of how to hear them and use them. Domi is asking about the sample that I let you hear here. Just an idea for something that I recorded before my daughter was born. Yeah, I made this. The drums here are stylus. I'm using stylus. And Trillion for the bass. The strings are from Logic Pro 10. And my guitar was just my guitar through the Axe effects. So very simple tools, but for some reason I think this sounds really good. Okay. I'm going to pass some. I'm really sorry. I didn't realize that you guys would see me and ask questions. I'm gonna have to skip some. I'm really sorry. I can't get to all of them. Ryan, hi. Welcome back to Texas. It's such a shame that we didn't see each other. Ryan from RNA Music. Good friend that I never met. You would never have heard this sentence 10 years ago, right? But he visited Colorado and I missed his trip. Was stuck with the kids. It's just cool too, but we'll make it happen. Let's see. Well, I think, yeah, great. I think I covered pretty much everything. There's a few that are missing, but this is very fun. Lawrence is asking me, as a guitarist, how do you approach drum recording? First of all, I don't record drums because I don't have the knowledge and the engineering and the interest. I want a good quality drum product finished, but I don't have necessarily the passion to learn how to do that. And I really believe that you can't do it all. Just pick what you want. But I use software to track demos, and usually I use loops. And lately it's been a combination of stylus, Spectrasonic stylus, and also I've been going back and forth between Easy Drummer 2 and XL Audio's Addictive Drums 2. Really good, both. Lately it's been maybe more of the tune track stuff, but I like them all. Alright, what else? Ryan is asking me about the Ibanez guitars, what I really like about them. I don't know. Nothing a guitar player would say. Like, I'm not going to say, oh, I love the radius and the because I don't know. But they're just really comfortable. That's all. All right, what else? Are some people acting out a little bit? It's YouTube. I get it. Okay, I think that's it. But if you have more questions for the next Q&A, which I'm not sure when it's going to be, because I'm kind of trying to take a break, but leave them below. I might see them. I might answer them. and I'm going to go back to finishing the things on my task list. That's all I have. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I will see you next time. Have a good day.